Hi, I'm Rachel Johnson.
How would people best know you?
Oh, that's such a mean question. I think I've probably got to admit that they think of me as sister of Boris, which is annoying, but I have to accept it. And I am a journalist. I did join the Tories, but only for a few years. I've joined the Lib Dems. I'm very concerned that we don't just go off a cliff willy-nilly in terms of Brexit, because I'm thinking about my children and grandchildren, I hope. I'm waiting for grandchildren. Not long now, I hope. I was anxious it was going to be Michael Gove. I was told it was someone who was active in the Brexit campaign, so I'm worried it could be possibly Douglas Carswell. He regards me with utter disdain, so that would be interesting. It would be great fun if it was Nigel Farage, but he would drink me under the table. And I've got to play a tennis match after lunch, so...
I'm Nigel Farage. I was in business for 20 years. I was never involved in politics at all. So I gave up quite a normal life to dedicate myself to what was considered to be fringe politics. Sort of, Looney Tunes. What I do know is I'm meeting a fanatical Remainer. I know it's a woman. I hope she likes to drink.
What if I don't know who he is? Will I know who he is? Hello,
May I introduce you to your...
How about that? That's amazing.
To your date.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hello, you.
You well?
Very well, thank
Good.
you.
Take a seat, Mr.
Yeah.
Farage. Take a seat. Yes. And I am your waitress for the day.
Oh, wow.
Before we get into your date, tell us what you think of this man from what you know of him.
Oh, you see, the problem with Nigel is he's impossible not to adore. He's completely destroyed the country. He's turned the Tory party into concib, but I like him an awful lot, and I think he's a brilliant communicator.
And Mr. Farage, what
Yeah.
do you think of Rachel Johnson from your meeting so far?
Huge fun. And clearly deluded on this particular issue, but I think, over perhaps a glass of something and lunch, we can talk some sense into it.
Good luck with that, Nigel.
Well, have a go.
Well, are you single, Nigel?
That's a very good question. A lot of people are asking that question. I'm not very married at the moment, let's put it like that.
You're not very married.
No.
Well, I am married.
No, I know you are. Yeah. I know you are.
But it's good to get to know each other's status before we embark on this date.
Yeah, I think separated is my
Really?
legal status.
How do you feel about that?
I don't think anything would have survived what I've been doing for the last 5 years, frankly. I mean, not that I've been perfect, I'm not, but it's been pretty awful. It's been pretty awful. I mean, just hellish, really.
Are you talking about work and infidelity, or...?
No, I'm talking about the sheer nastiness and aggro that comes with this. That the whole Trotskyite hard-left movement are now the Remainers.
But that's not the reason for your marriage breakdown.
Apparently, we're called hard Remainers now.
Hard Remainers.
Hard Remainers.
Yeah, I mean, you literally there is no life left. The last time I went out with the family, we were assaulted by 80 people and the car was
You're
written
not
off.
serious?
That's the last time we went out as a family.
Do you have any security now?
Yes, that I have to pay for.
I'll get you
Oh,
drinks.
thank you.
No help
That
from
you
the
have to
police.
pay for?
No help from the state. No, nothing. So you literally never go out.
That's awful, Nigel.
That's the truth of it.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Yeah.
I have a theory, which is this. Actually, I don't think people cared about Project Fear. I don't think people care that the Eurozone is going to boom and we're going to go off a cliff. I honestly think that it's become an ideology, and all they want is to say, we've got our country back, without really knowing or caring what that means.
The ideology is to lie to 24 countries in Europe, to tell them they're joining an economic club, and then bit by bit to take away their democracy and their independence. That's the ideology. The ideology is the flag, the anthem, the police force, the army.
You're talking about democracy, Nigel. Why can't Parliament have a proper look at the eventual deal? Don't you think that's quite important?
Because Parliament subcontracted this decision to the British people, thank God. Had it been left to politicians...
We have a parliamentary democracy. This is
I don't
not democratic, what's happening. I still don't understand why you think the deal was bad, Nigel. Because can I just put my case?
Yeah.
Just from where I sat before we had Brexit, we weren't in Schengen.
Thank goodness.
We weren't in the euro.
So-
we weren't in the social chapter. To me, it was a win-win
So
that
the
we
good
instantly
things, the good
converted
things
into
about
a
the EU were the
lose-lose.
bits we weren't in. It's bizarre.
Yes, but we had the best of both worlds then.
I'm not sure we did, actually.
But didn't we?
Well, thank God we didn't join the euro. Just excuse me for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Quick phone, mate.
Did you take our order?
Yes. Where's he gone?
I think he may have gone to the gents. Do you think I've upset him already? Where is he?
I don't know, but he's deserted you.
He's deserted. Shall we ring him? Send a search party for Nigel Farage. Where is he?
Aha, he's back.
Sorry, I had to sort something out. So,
You had a cigarette, I can smell it.
well, I did, although I was on the phone, yeah, of course.
Got to say, actually, considering that you're on opposite sides of the EU argument, this is a bit of a lovin'.
Well, it's always had this chemistry with Nigel. I can't help it.
But there are lots of Remainers. Oh, she's lovely, but there are lots of Remainers I like anyway. What I can't stand are the British politicians who've been so dishonest about this subject all the way through the years. You know, Tories standing...
Who can't you stand, particularly? Who couldn't you sit down and have lunch with?
Oh, the people who...
Thank you.
The people who used to masquerade as Eurosceptics at elections but were actually for it.
Like who?
Well, nearly all of them. Nearly all of them. You know, I mean, the referendum in the end did sort people out.
Sorry, I couldn't help overhearing your earlier conversation about potentially thinking about standing for the European Parliament if Britain is not out of
Well, if we're not out
of the European Union by
stand
2019.
I'll stand against
No,
you.
that'd be
I'll
great
stand
fun. I should look
against
forward
you.
to that.
Is this confirmation that if Britain is not out by 2019, you're both going to stand as
Yes.
Euro MPs?
Yeah. Unless, of course, I can find myself a seat somewhere else.
Right. So you would fancy
in a
going...
by-election.
Right. You would fancy a seat in this country at Westminster. You've tried to be an MP 7 times?
I don't know, whatever it is. But I mean,
Will
that
you
was,
have another go?
But that was my duty to stand. My duty was to stand. I mean, only have
But would you do it again? Would you want to become an MP? Would you try... Are you going to try again?
Not particularly. I never did.
Why
really.
not? Why not, though?
Because I wasn't in politics for that. I was in politics to try and change things.
Oh, there you are. There's your grill.
Always.
Oh, this looks delicious. Thank you very much.
What would your brother Boris Johnson think of this date?
I think he'd be very happy. I think that he would.
He'd be very happy. You were on the same side.
We were.
In the but not very friendly. Let's be honest.
We weren't unfriendly.
And what does your brother think about you joining the Liberal Democrats ahead of this election?
I think he takes a very dim view. But I have reassured him that it is, for me, it's a single issue decision, and it's for this election. And I want to, I reserve my right to do whatever I like in perpetuity, basically. I'm a free agent.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm allowed to have a different political opinion.
Yes, you are.
But your problem, Rachel, is this. Excuse me. That
I'm waiting for this.
YouGov today says 45% want Brexit at any price. Walk away tomorrow. 2 fingers up, go.
Yeah, and I think that is a problem because it sounds so stupid. It's like vandalism.
23% want Brexit to happen, but would like a good deal.
Yeah.
And the hardcore Remainers
I know.
are now 22%.
I know.
And you are on a shrinking
We're
iceberg.
hard
with
Remainers.
this.
I know we are. I absolutely accept that.
What I don't understand is what is so good about this European project. What is it that you're in love with? Why do you feel so strongly about it?
I feel so strongly about it because what I feel is that leaving aside what's good about it, the fact that we've had peace and security and prosperity, we have for 40 whatever it
there are
is
lots of
years.
reasons for that.
Yes, okay, but one of them is we are part of the EU and it has kept peace in Europe.
So are you saying,
No, wait,
without
wait,
the
wait.
EU, that the Germans would have invaded again? Are you really saying that?
Not at all, and I think because of the EU, the Germans have been a real force for stability in Europe and an engine of growth. Anyway, it's nice to see you.
Nice to
Should
see
we talk
you.
about something else now? Could you go to bed with a Remainer? Could you make her see the light?
Do you know what? I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that. me.
Are you only attracted to Brexiters?
That's a good question.
Got him. No. He can't. He hasn't. He has no words.
I'm stumped on
I
that.
must ask if the story about you meeting someone on a plane is true.
Oh yes. What happened
Is it
on the
true?
plane?
Just a ridiculous
You were
setup.
snogging this page 3 model.
Just ludicrous, the whole thing. But page
I
3
hope
model,
someone's got video footage.
page
of
3
it.
model would have been okay, wouldn't it? Well, it was a bit more serious than that.
What was she doing in business class though?
That's a very good question. Good question. Anyway, it just...
Where you stitched up like a UKIPper.
Oh, you
Get
get
it?
back, yeah. What that episode shows me is you can't trust anybody. You can't talk to anybody. You can't, you know.
Oh God, Nigel,
Because
that's awful.
It's true.
I don't think you can trust random people though.
No,
That's the truth.
And that was my, you know.
Yeah.
There I was, sitting at the bar, having dinner on Virgin Atlantic, and someone comes and sits next to you and starts talking to you. Well, what are you going to do?
Snogger.
No, that yeah. Well,
What you need, Nigel, is just a nice, steady Brexiter girlfriend. Because then you don't have to have the conversation with her all the time you've had with me. It's like saying, I just don't understand why you feel so strongly over dinner to her.
I think
When you should be exchanging sweet nothings. And you know you're both on the same page, you both want out, you both think the European project is
I
disgusting.
still don't get why you feel so strongly about this. Because
I grew up in Brussels. I've
Fine.
worked in Brussels.
So do you want a United States of Europe?
There's a lot wrong with it. I like what we had, Nigel, and I don't want to lose it. Cameron, I think, probably did as much to lose the referendum as anybody else.
well, the deal was rubbish.
The deal wasn't good
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
And so Cameron, I hold almost entirely responsible for this, more than you.
Gee,
Yeah.
oh, it's disappointing.
And then when we went over the waterfall in a bucket, he left Downing Street with a song in his heart.
Well, he had to, didn't he? He had to go, didn't he?
Do you think we're allowed pudding?
I just think so.
Would you like pudding?
No, I'm fine. Coffee, maybe.
So-
What do
so-
you do to relax, Nigel?
Well, over the last 20 years, not much, which is why I'm pleased to be out
It's
of it.
sad that your private life's fallen apart because
What do you
you've
mean?
done it for a noble cause.
53, separated, skint. Yeah, great.
Why are
isn't
you
it?
skinned?
Well, got 20 years of doing this.
Why do you could go back into business, but you can't now?
Loads of
can you?
kids.
You are Nigel Farage. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's difficult.
You've got 3, haven't you?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Same wife?
No. But,
How many mothers?
only 2, all right.
So you've been married twice?
Yeah.
Come on, Nigel, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can't complain.
I'm not
You've got what
complaining.
you want. I mean,
I'm not,
Nigel
no.
Douglas Carswell's fantastically smug about what's happened.
Smug. He's one of the unhappiest people I've ever met.
Is he?
He doesn't. I think he's a very unhappy person. Yeah. Very strange individual. Very strange.
He's clever.
Is he?
He doesn't have your ability to connect with people.
Odd bloke. And in politics, he's full of odd people. I used to play golf. The other big hobby that I've got, which used to be considered to be really geeky. I mean, really geeky.
Metal detecting.
No.
Can I guess?
Have a guess. But you're sort of...
Carriage driving.
No.
Okay. Is it sporty?
No, it's historical.
Brass rubbing. Okay. Am I close?
Thank you. Not really. Not
Okay.
really.
What is it?
Oh, I'm a First World War nut.
Ah, yes.
An absolute nut.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Nigel, what should I do with the rest of my life? It's a big question.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I think I'm bloody swimming against the tide at the moment.
Oh, you'll lose this one completely. But that's okay, because we all have a few losses in life.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I just wonder if I've
Seems
made
to
a
be-
terrible mistake as well.
I think you do pretty well, actually.
So it doesn't matter that I'm the butt of ridicule from half the cabinet for joining the Lib Dems.
Yes. I
Back
mean,
to politics, I see.
No, sorry.
no, it wasn't politics, actually.
No. I was asking Nigel what I should do the rest of my life, and have I dropped a massive
Meaning, why, what, saying you're joining the Lib Dems?
Well, yes, I mean, have I actually destroyed any hope of any
No, but we're all
serious
we're all
future?
allowed a few mistakes.
How would you sum up your political first date?
Oh, it's really interesting because Rachel is seen in this country as being this sort of hard-line Remainer, and yet when you talk to her about the European Union and where it's going, in France she'd be a hard-line Eurosceptic.
I think that's right. But I
So
mean,
it's
there are so
a
few of us
strange-
left, though, even hardline.
You know, had she told me that she supported the United States of Europe and everything else, I would completely understand why she sacrificed her reputation to join the Liberal Democrats. As it is, I'm bemused, but fascinated.
Do you think you have sacrificed your reputation?
I really genuinely felt as this was, we were entering into a one-party state on an issue that I believe to be wrong in every particular. I felt that I couldn't actually live with myself unless I'd made a futile gesture and stand up and be counted, if only to be shot down. Yeah.
And how would you sum up your political first date with Nigel Farage?
Well, like Nigel Farage, incredibly entertaining and infuriating. And wrong.
And wrong.
So how was your date?
I enjoyed it. He's taught me a lot.
I've turned her into a federalist, apparently.
Yeah, after lunch with Nigel Farage, I've gone from a what would they call a Eurosceptic in France to a full-blown federast.
You want a European army?
Yeah, why not? Roll it, bring it on.
Dear, oh dear. Well, at least it's
Actually,
a
we
more honest...
can't afford a European army, but apart from that,
It's
if
a
we're
more
going to...
honest position, though, isn't it? Because there's no point joining the Lib Dems.
10 years' time, and we're going to have another dinner date, and we're going to see whether it's been the great success that you hope for. And I hope for, too, because I want things to work.
Well, in 10 years' time, the European Union won't exist anyway, so it'll be a different conversation.
I don't think you're right. I'll take your hand on that, though. Thank you for a lovely lunch.
No, it's great fun. I loved it.
Should we go up to the cigar table?
Yeah, do you want a cup of coffee?
I think it's pretty clear whose side the Lord's on, Barrington.
England, sir?
Naturally.